Okay, it's late, so I'll make a quick statement and I'll let you talk to the guys. But needless to say, the second half was a lot different from the first half. I thought the first half we were very tentative on the offensive end and didn't do what we planned on doing on the defensive end. They changed their game plan a little bit, and needless to say, it worked. They've been playing at a fast pace, but they controlled the clock and shot threes and made 10 threes in the first half, and our offense was not very good. The only offense we had in the first half really was Nassir taking the ball to the basket. Second half, Cam makes a big three the first possession, and all of a sudden we got a little more energy and passion about what we were doing defensively, and we defended. We got some turnovers and got some points off that, and they missed some open shots as well. But I think we shot like 63, 64% in the second half because we took better shots as well. But Nassir gave us a great lift off the bench, and Cam did, like I said, the first shot of the second half was really big, and he had a couple assists and baskets later in that as well.
Thank you, Coach. Reminder that the locker rooms are going to be open 30 minutes for the next 30 minutes starting now. Our players are Cameron Johnson and Nassir Little. If you have a question for them, please address them by their first name so that they can understand who the question is for. And so, too, can our technical people get the sound and camera together on the right guy. Go ahead, please.
Brett Friedlander, North State Journal. Cam, what did he say to you guys at halftime? And did he need to say anything?
He just said that's not the way we play. We need to pick it up. And, you know, we received that message pretty loud and clear. We knew that the way we played in the first half was unacceptable. We knew that wasn't us, and that's what he emphasized to us, and that we gotta come out and we gotta play better. And he had faith in us, and so that was important to us. And we just had to go out there and execute and use our advantages, you know.
Coach, can you talk about the way your team moved the ball in the second half after three first
Hey guys,
half
can you
assists?
can you get the players first so we can let them go back to the locker room, and then I'm going to be here. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Yeah. So didn't you ask me that question? Okay. Well, somebody asked the players so they can get back to the locker room.
Cameron, Ken Kreitzer, WVOX New Rochelle. What did Iona do in the first half? They shot well, but what did they do that made it difficult in the first half?
Making shots, it was really took them a long way. It took us out of getting any transition opportunities, made us play offense in the half court. They slowed down the tempo, used a lot of clock, and hit a lot of threes. So they kind of controlled that tempo. And we were swinging the ball around the outside too much, not really getting it on the inside. And, you know, they did a pretty good job of keeping us off the glass for the most part in that first half.
Naz, do you look at yourself as an energy guy? And even if you don't, do you feel like you kind of inserted some of that into the team in the first half when you came in?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I just look at what the team needs. I felt like early on we was taking too many outside shots, and you know, before the game, coach and all the coaching staff was telling me to be aggressive and then get easy buckets inside and play inside out. And I think by doing that, opened a lot of things up for us in the second half.
Nassir, it just looked like in the second half you decided to push the ball up court and go to the basket, either a pass or a drive. Was that just what you wanted to do to try to change the flow of the game?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we did scout, and we knew they weren't the strongest team in transition. And I felt like early on we weren't getting enough stops to take advantage of that. So, you know, once we picked it up defensively, we got easy buckets transition. Guys were being more aggressive, taking to the basket, putting pressure on the guys, getting people in foul trouble, and that's how we were able to get away.
Cam, coaches love to say the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half is the most important part of a game. Is that a cliche because it's true?
It is true. It is true. I think we came out and we tied it up pretty quick, and that gave us some momentum, and we kind of rode that wave for the majority of the half. So, you know, we came out, we called a play, we ran it, my guys hit a good screen, and the first one fell. Then Luke came down, got an easy basket, and then the stops started to come. And, you know, you just hope, you know, a team that hits 10 of their first 21 threes kind of cools off, and, you know, they did that a little bit, and we took advantage.
That'll do it for our players. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations on your first win. And now more questions for Coach Williams.
Go ahead.
Coach, can you just speak to the ball movement by your team in the second half after only 3 first-half assists there?
Well, for North Carolina to play a half and only have 3 assists, that tells you right there that we're not moving very well. And we talked about that. We had 0 points off turnovers. We had 3 assists. Everything was just an outside shot except for Nassir, basically. And Luke had a lot of things inside, but for some reason he was worried about getting his shot blocked or something, because at half he and Cam together were 3 for 16. And then you go back and look what they did in the second half. It was much more aggressive and poised and confident in what they were doing.
Coach, Ron McFadden from the Ionian. What do you have to say about Iona guard Ricky McGill's performance? He had 26 points and was really impressive from deep.
Well, he's a 4-year guy, 4 championships, 4 NCAA tournaments, and I congratulated him on that in the line as we were shaking hands at the end. We knew that he's a good 3-point shooter, but the other guys shoot more. But today he made his first one, made his second one, and I think he made 6 in a row before he missed. But I think he's a heck of a player. And scouting report, he said you got to watch number 0. He plays in the passing lanes, and he still gets 2 steals like that. So I think he had a heck of a game. But Tim changed a little bit and gave them the best chance to win by using clock and spreading, and he was counting on his guys making shots. And in the first half they did, and fortunately for us, we made more in the second half, and they didn't shoot it as well.
Roy, I know you'd prefer not to have gone through that first half, but now that it's done, do you feel like maybe you can use that to your advantage, as maybe let these guys know that they're not invincible and that they need to come out and play well?
I don't think that they felt like they were invincible, but probably the thing that I despise more than anything in basketball or in life is somebody trying to be cool. And I thought in the first half we didn't have the passion. And I don't think that they thought it was going to be easy. I just don't think we had the passion to play. And especially in the defensive end, when they're spreading you, it's not easy. And you got to get there, and you can't let a guy stare down at your feet and pull up and shoot a 3. You can't let them drive to the basket and lay it up. I mean, it was a total breakdown on the defensive end, and then they're making the 3s, and then we started looking at the score, and I think perhaps got a little tight. But no, I told them in the locker room, every tournament's different. You build your momentum once you get in the tournament, and some of you guys have heard this before, but I was just on the staff of a pretty good team in 1982. In the first game, we played James Madison in Charlotte, and we blew them out 52-50. And so it happens, and we had a guy named Worthy, a guy named Jordan, and a guy named Perkins on that team. We ended up winning the national championship. So it's one game, but learn from this one game. We've got to have more passion.
Can you coach or uncoach tight?
No, I think what you got to do is kids got to have confidence. And I've always said don't worry about anything, just lose yourself in the game. And that's what we try to get the guys to focus on and be positive and lose themselves in the game. Yes.
Coach, obviously, you know, when they were coming out shooting a bunch of 3s early, you knew they were going to make them. I guess the question is,
I did not know they were going to make them.
Okay, I didn't say that right. Once they started hitting a few, and you see that, what was the adjustment you made at halftime, knowing that you could kind of sense that they were going to shoot a bunch of 3s?
Well, we knew they were going to shoot a bunch of 3s, period, because that's what they do. They try to open the court and try to drive and penetrate and pitch for 3s. That's what his team's done for 10 straight games in the winning streak, and they've done a good job of it. But they did a better job of it today than they have, because I think they shot like 40, 47 or something like that in the first half, and that's pretty impressive. But in the second half, you know, we just talked about playing with passion. We did start switching the screens on the ball 1 through 4. 5 was the only one that was making a hard hedge, but they didn't really set that many screens, so that didn't change it much. It's just that we had more passion and got to the shooters more, but more importantly, didn't stand around. And on the offensive end, we started moving and we got some stops, and that got our break going, so we were better offensively.
2 more questions for Coach Williams.
Okay.
You're a #1 seed, which is obviously an achievement, something you want to be. Do you think that maybe comes with a little bit of pressure, though, and that affected you a little bit early on?
Oh, I think so, and I think UNBC last year has made it a little more pressure, and it's part of the game. And I understand that and told them that. But you know, if you're a tough competitor and you invest yourself into the game, you're not just worried about the score. You want to be concerned about how you're playing. And I think for a couple of moments there, we were concerned about the score more so than how we were playing. So I just tried to get us to focus on playing better and doing what we've done all year long.
Go ahead.
And Coach, second half, it looked like you really tightened up the defense in the paint. Whenever Crawford went down the lane, he always was being met by 2 players. Was that a key adjustment on defense?
Well, it's when you say it was a key adjustment, it sounds like his coaching. We did the same thing. We just did it better in the second half. The only thing we changed was playing the screen on the ball differently in the second half. And like I say, they didn't set nearly as many in the second half as they did in the first half. But, yeah, we were trying to be in there to make it difficult for somebody to drive also, because if you're in the gaps and they drive and penetrate, you just have to go one way. If you're out denying like we used to do, we were denying, you got to get back, and then you go 2 ways. And so the game plan was to be having in there and stopping people driving to the basket. We just didn't look like it was a game plan in the first half.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
guys.
We will see you tomorrow.